Yo, what up, Mr. Bean? Zach, what's up, dude? Doing good, man. All right. Streams are up. Mr. Rainbow, what's up? Zinnius, thank you for joining in. Gonna get started on this build here in just a minute. You're back. Look at that, you got the top fan badge on there now too. I should have put it into the title. We're actually building this PC for a NASCAR driver, which is pretty cool. Mr. Oh, Mr. Rainbow just took number 2. What does that mean? Yep, so. His name is Carson Ware. I don't think he's like super famous NASCAR driver, but he is a NASCAR driver, and so is his brother. Pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about today's build. We've got it in there, but we've got a Ryzen 7 9800X 3D. We've got a Founders Edition RTX 5080. We've only got one more of these left after this one, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to get any more, but we'll see. Got 3 terabytes of storage total, 48 gigs of RAM. We've got this nice Thermalright Frozen Warframe Pro AIO, and we're gonna be replacing the fans on that with these Montech fans to match with all the fans that go in the case. MSI Mag X870E motherboard, 1000 watt power supply, and of course, like I mentioned, the Montech King 95 Pro. Yo, Mr. Rainbow with 15 months. Let's go. That's sick. 15 months. Yo, what's up, Carson? Welcome in. You excited to see your PC get built live? Freaking live? It's gonna be great. All right, so if you guys didn't hear, Ryzen 7 9800X 3D, 3 terabytes of storage, 48 gigs of RAM, RTX 5080, MSI Mag X870E motherboard, Thermalright 360, some fans to put in that, and then the 1000 watt power supply. It's gonna be sick. Yo, Mr. Rainbow, 5 gifted memberships? Dude, thank you so much. Carson's everywhere, holy cow. All right, RTX 5080. Dude, I love these Founders Editions. I wish I could just buy these because they are incredible. They look so good. They're so nice. I would use those. If there was a 50, like if every 50 series card had a Founders Edition and they were readily available, I would only use those because they look so good. All right. Let's, you guys are on the wrong screen on the vertical side. That's my bad. That's my bad. There we go. But, boom. Cameras are on and working. Yo, Mr. Rainbow, I appreciate that, dude. What up, Madara? How we doing? Dude, isn't it fun? You get to watch your PC being built before your eyes. And I've built this, basically this exact same PC a few times now, so it'll probably go pretty quick. Of the stars, what's up? Welcome back. What the heck? That heatsink's just floating. Come on, MSI. You guys can do better than that. All right, we don't need that stuff. What up, MJ? How we doing? All right, we got our motherboard out. Finally not driving during one of my streams. Love that. Glad you can actually hang out and watch safely. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's crazy. This thing wasn't even on there. Oh well, it's fine. It's just a heatsink. All right, 9800X 3D. Let's do it. You ever laughed at something and realize you don't know why you're laughing? No, I'm not that old yet. Just kidding. What up, enemy? Don't worry, I'll get there someday, Mr. Rainbow. All right, 9800X 3D going in. Boom. Get the wiggle. Okay, there it is. Let's get some storage in here. Got a 1 terabyte and a 2 terabyte. We're gonna put the 1 terabyte in the top slot. Yo, thank you guys for the subs on YouTube. Appreciate that. You like the stream? Hey, thank you. All right, let's get this plastic off from down here. One terabyte. Boom. Boom. Super staticky plastic off. Seems to be staying on. It's fine. All right, let's get our 2 terabyte installed down here. Building PC for your birthday. Let's go. Trouble with Windows. Built a PC on Sunday, but I get problems with DirectX drive. Interesting. You are that old, 6 decades old? Well, yeah. You know, some things just, you know, they just don't work as well as they used to when you're that old, right? Yeah, now he's gonna have a dedicated sim PC. And then he'll have this one for everything else. It could have been that something got corrupted when you when Windows like updated or it got installed. You could try doing a fresh. And when I say fresh, I mean like create the installation media again and reinstall that. See if that fixes it. Oh, Zach, you watched him race? That's cool. Like you installed Windows, like you just updated from 10 to 11, or did you install directly to Windows 11? Gonna have 2 redneck builds soon? Yes. I like the way you talk, Carson. I like the way you talk. All right, 48 gigs of RAM going in. Boom. All right, let's get our mounting in for our CPU cooler. What up, Hatfield? How we doing? Happy Monday. Next one has to be all out max everything. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. I mean, this is a pretty beefy build, but there's definitely more that we can do. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. All right, just need that for now. Ah, why is my nose so itchy? Sponsor me a PC? No. Nice try, though. Good effort. All right. Need that. Need that. Need that. Need a couple of these. It's a 9800X 3D. You're older than Apple and Microsoft. Probably run an older firmware than Apple and Microsoft too. Got him. Maybe hardware. Maybe you've upgraded your firmware over the years. All right. Screwdriver. That's what I need. That's what I need. Just waiting to get it in for a look over. A couple things fixed right away. Wait, what are you looking at? Is it not Monday? It's Wednesday, you're right. It's been a week. It's been a week, boys. Oh, you got a new car? What did you get? Type in, oh, maybe it's not working over there. Try typing in exclamation point specs, Shield. It should pop up. If it doesn't, then I'll talk you through it. What up, no one? Feel kind of sluggish. Think my processor's breaking. Botrix might not be working over there. Okay, for those of you in the YouTube vertical who apparently Botrix is not working for, here's the full specs breakdown. 9800X 3D, Ryzen 7. We've got a 1 terabyte Teamgroup MP44Q, a 2 terabyte Teamgroup MP44Q, 48 gigs of CL32 6400 RAM. Got this MSI Mag X870 Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard, 1000 watt power supply, Founders Edition RTX 5080. We've got a Thermalright 360 AIO with the LCD screen, and then the Montech King 95 Pro. So hopefully you memorized all of that. My old PC is Windows 10 with an RX 580, so the prices are crazy this time. Happy with the 50. Oh, 56 Ti 16 gig is great. You don't need a contact frame on AMD. You just don't need it. I did some testing with it a while back, and it like doesn't do anything. The only reason Intel needed contact frames was because their latch design sucked, and you would get really uneven contact on your from your CPU cooler. Okay, mounting brackets are installed. How would someone interested in doing something like this for a living get started with no experience? YouTube, and then talking to your friends to see if you could build them PCs to start, to like build your portfolio, I guess. Really chips in your computer or potato? Potato chips. Okay, let's swap you guys over there for a second. This is the case that we're working with. Oh, it is chunky. It is heavy. The Montech King 95 Pro. I love this case. One, because it looks incredible, and two, because it comes with a bunch of pre-installed fans, and those pre-installed fans are reverse blade for the ones that are, need to be reverse blade. So the fans along the bottom and the side are reverse blade fans, so those are intakes. This one here is a standard fan. It's an exhaust, and then we literally just have to put 3 more fans in with the AIO, and then all the fans are already in there. It's cool. Really cool. Very good price point for what you get from it too. Chill to watch. Hey, thank you, Cardor. What do you think of the GTX 970? I mean, it'll probably run some games. What up, Abby? It's a very old GPU at this point, so you can probably play most games if you run it at like low settings, 1080p, but can't expect much out of it at this point in time. You could probably get something a lot better for not much more, unless you just already have it. All right, I just need those bolts. Where's my motherboard bolts? There they are. You have 5 cars now? Jeez. 2001 540i. Oh, nice. And wagon. There you go. Get off me. Static. I don't really know anything about that. Car door. Built PC last year with a 4070 Super. After 2 months saw the Nvidia 57 came out. I mean, yeah, there's a big asterisk with that claim, and it's that the only reason it comes close to the 4090 is because it has DLSS, the new DLSS for multi-frame generation. In pure performance without DLSS, it doesn't even come close to the 4090. It's better than Twitch? Yes, sir. What more can you do to make it more beefy? Like this build? What up, Husk? Because they stopped making the 40 series cards. They stopped manufacturing 4070s through 4090s in like October of last year. So they're not making them anymore. Dark Halo, it's a 9800X 3D. 2 wagons, 2 trucks, and you're the Riviera. Make this more beefy. You could go with a more expensive motherboard, and I mean, you probably won't see any performance difference, but you could go with a more expensive motherboard. You could go with like 96 gigs of RAM instead of 48. If you wanted to do more than just gaming on it, like crazy workstation stuff, you could do the like 9950X 3D. You could go with a 5090. You could put more storage in it. And I mean, you could do a bunch of aesthetic stuff if you wanted to, but it doesn't really affect the performance of the system at all. PC spec for an architecture student. I mean, it depends on if you're gaming on it or not. If you're just using it for like school or work or whatever, I would get like a Pro Series GPU, like rather than a gaming like consumer GPU, and then you could get like something with more cores, like a 9900X or a 9950X. At least 48 gigs of RAM, maybe more like 64, and lots of storage. This is a Ryzen 7 9800X 3D. Do you know if there's a full system stress test out there? There are tests out there. I usually don't use anything that does all of them at once. But like OCCT, you can stress test everything, just not all at the same time. Like you can do CPU and RAM, you can do GPU. I don't know if there's anything out there that can stress test everything all at once though. Yeah, I mean, 48 gigs of RAM is plenty for most people. But if you're talking like architecture, like stuff that's like 3D modeling software stuff, that can use a lot of RAM. Like my work laptop, I think, has 64 gigs of RAM. You have a Lean Landcool 216. Hold on, let me switch you guys over. There's no such thing as a budget gaming PC nowadays. No, you're not wrong, AJ. You have a Landcool 216 where I put intake fans. The 216, the intake fans are on the front. I can't remember if there's any room to put them on the bottom. If you wanted to add more, you could put some on the bottom. And then top and back are going to be exhaust. Yeah, try OCCT. That's a good one. It's free. Okay, let's get all the stuff that's already in the case plugged in. there's quite a few things in here. This is the one thing of this case that I wish was easier is like, it's a lot of effort to take this thing out. Like you got to take these bolts and stuff out. I wish they made it like Lian Li where you open it like this and you just slide it out, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. Put these bolts back so I remember where they came from. All right, let's get this stuff plugged in. All right, HD audio, always first. Why, you ask? Nobody knows. There's absolutely no reason why I do HD audio first. It's just the way I do it. Okay, bottom left. Boom. Oh my gosh. See what I mean about the door? Gotta move my water bottle now. Is that in the way of you guys? Yeah, we'll just put that on the floor. Sorry. Need help with the RAM advice. I currently have 32 gigs, 3600. It's at 18. Tara, I mean, it depends on what you're doing. If you're just gaming, the 16 gigs is probably a little bit better, but honestly, you're probably not gonna see much difference in performance between the two. So I would probably just keep the higher capacity. All right, front panel. This is all of our like power, reset switch, all that good stuff. Got our USB-C going in here. Where does that go on this board? Right there. Go through this lower slot. Guessing it's gonna go that way. Yep. Okay. And our standard USB, or USB 3, whatever you want to call it, USB-A. Pull that through there. This one's got a little bit of a tight turn, but it's not too bad. We'll use the bottom slot. Come on. Okay. All right, so that's all that stuff plugged in. Fans. Should have connection here for the fans somewhere. Should be over. Is it trapped back here? It is trapped back here. Yeah, got it. Okay, so this is all of our system fans. They plug into a header right up here, and then they connect in here for both RGB and for the PWM. So literally all we got to do is run a single connection out to the motherboard down here. Just push it out the bottom. That PWM and RGB. Just like that. The other thing that's nice about that that little hub up there is I'm gonna run the CPU, the fans that we're swapping out for the CPU cooler. I'm gonna run the RGB for those through here as well, so that all of the fans RGB is coming through a single channel, and that'll make it really nice for us. All right. CPU fan header, we got that. He's a pro. He would be done the build by the time I got everything out of the box. You build PCs faster than I use the bathroom? Bro, this is PC build number 276. If that gives you any idea of how many times I've done this. And in a build like this where I've done basically an identical build before, it's so easy to just rip through it because I don't have to think about like, why, I mean, I have to think about what I'm doing, but like I don't have to think about the process of it. Like I know exactly how it's going to get put together, which is super convenient for me. Which is why I also have to stop and talk on to the chat, because otherwise like we'll be done in like 45 minutes and nobody will be happy, you know? All right, so that USB cable, we're just gonna kind of stick it out there for now. All right, all this stuff that's in here is plugged in. It's all happy. Let's grab a cable tie for the bottom. Tighten that up a little bit. There we go. So that'll be a nice little bundle there. Might do another one like over here. Get out of my way. Fine, don't get out of my way. Okay, and let's grab one more. We'll put it over here. Do you think AM5 was as good as AM4? I mean, performance-wise, it's great. And it's nice that like you don't have pins on your CPU anymore. Because I think personally it's much more likely to bend pins on a CPU than it is to bend them on the motherboard when they're like protected by the socket. So yeah, I like it. Okay, everything that's in here is plugged in. Literally everything. I mean, obviously this isn't plugged in yet, but that's gonna go over there. So let's take this tiny piece of plastic off and let's get some power cables out here. Bro keeps count of how many he's built. I lost count after making something like 20 PCs. It was over 100 PCs ago, but I went back at one point and counted them all, including ones that I had like built for myself and stuff, so that I could start tracking them. So that's why every single time I build, I update the number so that I can keep track. Because I think it's fun. It's a fun stat to know. For me personally. Like you guys might not care how many I've built, but I care. I've only ever built 2. Those are rookie numbers. Oh, hold on. I've got a bot on the got a bot on the Kick chat. 1 second here. Goodbye. Okay. Power socket's the new name for the cartoon morning. Huh? Best airflow for a 10 fan setup? What do you mean? You're talking about like what case to choose? What are we talking about here? I normally have one. Usually Richard's in here, but he's obviously not today. 9700X and a 6950X Ti, a good combo? Yeah, it's solid. All right, motherboard power. Got a SATA power. We've got, not that one. We've got GPU power, the native 12 HP power. CPU power, second CPU power, even though we don't need it. And there we go. All right, let's do CPU power first. How come no one does fully submerged computers? Price, yes. The amount of time it takes to do it, the upkeep, I'm sure, is a lot. Like you can't just run that same oil 24/7 forever. Like you're gonna have to swap it out eventually. I'm pretty sure the cost of mineral oil is pretty expensive too. What's the best AIO? I mean, there's a lot of really good ones out there. Kind of depends on what price point you're looking at. If you want like something for a reasonable price, I would say a Thermalright. The frozen prisms are probably the best price to performance. They're like 55 bucks and they work really well. If you want like the coolest one, the Trix Panorama is probably my favorite. It's like $350 and it has like a sick 1440p screen and it works really well. Something in the middle, like the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 or like a Lee & Lee, like one of the new Lee & Lee ones. I can't remember the exact name of their models anymore. Also like Corsair Nautilus, I really like that one. You can do that without using all of like the Corsair software. And if you go to Corsair.com, you can get 10% off if you use code REDNECK. Yeah, and it's just a ton of work because like you basically have to build your own case for it because nobody makes cases for it. Like most people basically either make their own or they like fix up and change up like a fish tank to hold the water. Okay, it's got those in there. It's gonna go right to our motherboard, or right to our power supply. And we've got our two SATA power cables here. Plug those in. Yo, what up, Flashy? I'm doing good, man. How are you? 6 intake, 4 exhaust. Yeah, I would say definitely bias exhaust if you have to bias one versus the other. Or sorry, did I say intake? Yeah, bias more intakes than exhausts if you have to choose one versus the other. That's what I meant to say. But ideally, you just have equal flow. What are your thoughts on the 600 watt power cables only recommended for 30 matings? I mean, how often are you unplugging your GPU? 30 matings seems like it's probably enough. It's not ideal that it only is technically lasts that long, but like you don't really need to unplug your GPU unless you're like rebuilding your PC. Like I don't even unplug it, or like doing diagnostic type work, but I don't even unplug it when I'm cleaning. So I don't think it's the end of the world. It's poor design probably, if you ask me, but okay, SATA power is in there. CPU power is in there. Let's get our motherboard power in there. Are you getting rich off of this? Just a little extra profit. I don't make a ton of money. And I have overhead stuff like internet, renting this office space, stuff like that. So no, I definitely am not rich off this. This is not my day job. I work full time and do this because this does not pay the bills in any way, shape, or form. Could I do this full time? Someday. But I don't sell enough PCs to be at that point yet. Yeah, we'll see if they come to any sort of agreement on the tariff stuff. I know that it's been postponed before, like once already, or like they minimized it, like they made it a much smaller percentage for a while. We'll see. I mean, that's definitely gonna hurt business, like not just me, but every system integrator, even the big ones, because prices are gonna go so high that people just won't be buying PCs anymore, at least not at the same rate. Okay, here's our motherboard power. Got all of our stuff in there except for GPU, and that's gonna just go in separately for a second. Current build is a B550 with a 5700X 3D Thermalright Frozen 240. Nice, 32 gigs, 360, and RX 6600. That's not bad at all, man. I mean, and you could get like a better, like you could upgrade your GPU and like nothing else and get a lot more performance too. Like that, the 5700X3D is a powerhouse. All right. Another sticker. Oh, come on. Your sticker's gonna leave a residue, Asus? Don't give me that crap. It's okay. That's what I've got this little plastic spatula thing for. Stop designing stickers with adhesives that are stronger than the sticker. As an engineer, I know that's something that you guys can solve. Boom. Oh, there's still a tiny bit of residue, but it's pretty good. You can kind of see where it's not as nice. Hold on. Probably kind of see that up here. But it's as good as we can get it. Freaking Asus. They don't pay by subs, it's by views. What are you talking about? Are we talking about YouTube? Asus has a warning, we leave residue on your power supply, we apologize. Definitely that would definitely be putting a band-aid on something that you could just fix if they actually did that. All right, motherboard power going in. Oh, flip that around. And we'll get our two CPU power cables in here. Down there. Okay, so got all that in there. It's all nice and plugged in. Pretty well cable managed already. I think we could tighten that up a little bit. All right, so that's all in there. That's all nice and cable managed. Let's get this out of the way for a second. There we go. Okay, GPU power we can leave there for now. Let's get our power supply bolted in. Do you have any quick tips on configuring fans? I fix machines for a living, but I'm addicted to building PCs. Dude, building PCs is just so fun. Do I like Alienware computers? No, they're garbage. They are garbage. I don't know where that bolt went. I'll find it later, but I don't need it, so. They gave us like 3 extra power supply cables, or bolts, so we're good. Plan to put a 4070 into it. Only problem says have to upgrade power supply to an 850. Yeah, that is something to think about. I mean, with a 4070, you'd probably be okay with a 750 watt, but yeah, I would say you're probably better off upgrading it. What up, Skyark? The Panorama is definitely, yeah, dude, the Panorama CPU cooler is incredible. PC gets so dusty after like 2 months. Honestly, I've had way too many issues with Gigabyte products, so I don't use them other than their GPUs. I guess their power supplies are probably fine too, but I don't like using their motherboards. Yeah, the dust thing, yeah, it all just kind of depends on your situation. Like if you have pets around, if you're on the hardwood floors, if your PC is like down low versus like up on a desk, it all makes a difference. All right. So this guy, we're gonna snake through here. It's gonna come out there like this. It's gonna get plugged in like that. So I'd say that's probably about enough length. So we'll tuck the rest of this inside of this guy. Okay. I might have to open that up at some point later, but we shouldn't need to. All right, CPU cooler time. Everything else is in here. Cool, 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 cool. Well, I mean, the GPU's not in there, but that's always last anyways. Quick tips on configuring fans is just a case of running the PC for a bit, seeing temp ranges. I mean, I usually just set my fans to smart mode and set them to PWM if they're PWM fans. And that's really all I do. If you have a good case with good cooling and solid fans, you shouldn't have to like spend a bunch of time tuning fans. You should have good enough airflow that you don't have to worry about it. What monitor should you get? 1440p, and I would say like at least, I would say 180 hertz at least. And then, you know, you can choose IPS or OLED, depending on what you want to spend. I mean, I would just go 2 times 16. You don't want 4 sticks of RAM if you don't have to. It's gonna operate better in a 2 DIMM configuration. The ROG whatever 3, yeah, it's solid too. I haven't used it personally, but I know it's a good CPU cooler. That's what I've heard too. Like the blacks are like actually black rather than like a brown. And the coloring on them is just so good. Okay. So those fans are all out. Boom, gone, done. Now we need our Montech fans. Yo, what up, Barbie? Thank you for joining in and the likes. I stumbled upon this stream because I was looking into upgrading your PC. Heck yeah. Love that. Looking into a new PC myself, wanting MSI X870 Carbon, 96 gigs. That's I mean, Mark, that's an incredible PC. Like, if you went with those specs, you would not be disappointed. I can tell you that. I have a big case, so I keep it just off the ground, around 2 feet. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the one thing you could do is like, you could get like a little like air purifier in the room that you use it in. Just to try and help keep the amount of dust in the air down. That could help a lot, so you don't have to do it all. Do it or clean it as often. I'm doing good. How are you, Barbie? It's good to see you. Yeah, that Asus case is pretty cool. Asus makes some pretty cool cases, I'm not gonna lie. I like Asus products. All right. Got those fans on there. Let's get them bolted in. That's why I'm an engineer, Michael. That's why I'm an engineer. Solutions. Definitely grown to appreciate the Corsair and Lee for their attempts at wireless fans. Spent 3 hours Sunday managing 5 Thermalright RGB fans. Yeah, that's one thing that like, yeah, some companies have done really good at is just like minimizing the number of cables. Thermaltake also has like their newer stuff that like the cables or the fans literally just like magnetically snap together, and so you just have one cable coming out. Like all that sort of effort is very nice for PC builders like myself. The N60 H6 Flow, it's such a cool case. I really like that one. I built a couple of PCs in it. It's great. Just be warned that like Lee and Lee fans don't really fit well in it. So if you were planning on using Lee and Lee stuff, it's like NZXT purposely designed their case so that the Lee and Lee stuff doesn't really work well in it. Took an unexpected nap, went outside to golf for a bit since I wouldn't have time to stream. Ooh, did you actually go play or did you just go hit some balls? I've been golfing a ton this summer. MSI is better. I mean, I like MSI too, but I do like Asus. Been into computers since early days with Amigas. Ah, stop that. Yo, Storm, thank you so much for the gift. Speaking of 2 DIMM configurations, I'm actually gonna go that route yourself. I mean, you should, especially on DDR5. DDR5, I wouldn't mess with 4 DIMMs if you don't have to. It's just so much more stable. Need to find an AM4 motherboard with at least 3 M.2 slots. You should be able to find one, like an X870 or X570 board with, you know, and a decently high model should have it. All right, gonna run some cables through here. Dang it. Forgot to open up my baggie full of bolts. So we gotta do a little something like that. Stop sticking to me. Okay. There we go. Now I want the table to move down. Yo, what up, Colin? Yeah, X570 is like the highest end chipset for AM4, so I would say those are the most likely to have enough M.2 ports for you. I think I'm getting a Liam Neeson case and have it search for his daughter. Do I think cable mods are worth it? Like the cable mod custom cables? If you're going like really high end, I would say doing custom like cable mod cables are worth it. For most systems, probably not. But I have custom cable mod cables in my gaming PC because I went all out. Like I did a carbon and red color scheme on them. They look really good. If you're looking for that like extra touch of like the piece for the PC aesthetically, custom cables is definitely a cool way to go. But also there's stuff like if you don't want to spend as much, you can get like the Asia Horse RGB and like cable extension stuff. Those are pretty cool for a lot cheaper. Building a PC is good because you can upgrade unless you spend all out. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and even then, like, you know, in a few years or whenever, if the components in here aren't quite cutting it anymore, you could basically transplant a new like motherboard, CPU, RAM, GPU, and keep like the bulk of it. Like you could keep the power supply, you could keep all the fans. If your CPU cooler's working well, you could keep that. Yeah, it is really nice that there's a lot you can do to upgrade a system over time. Assuming you don't buy from like Alienware or somewhere where it's all OEM parts and there's nothing works in it. But if you buy from someone like me or build it yourself, that is definitely an option. Okay. Radiator is installed. I can put this top back on. Okay. Let's get those cables pulled through the rest of the way. Okay, got that. Pull that through there. It's nice and clean now. Okay. What do we want to do next? Let's plug all those fans in. So, in here we've got connection for all of our CPU cooler fans. Just like this. And what we can do, well, let's do these RGB cables first. So we're gonna route the RGB cables. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Hold on, need to fix something. Routed this cable behind the CPU power cables, and then I was routing everything else in front. So let's be consistent here. Okay, got all that. Then let's do all of our RGB cables, which we're gonna route back here. And then I need to pull those covers off. Oh, come on, man. Okay. One. There's two. Okay. And there is number 3. This is the beauty of proper component selection. Makes everything so much easier when you select things that work well together. You don't have a bunch of extra hubs and nonsense around. Okay. So, undo this so I can run these cables down here. And we're gonna run these guys through here as well. That. And actually fold these fan cables back on themselves. Just like that. We'll be able to stick them in here with this bundle. Just like that. Boom. Look how nice and tight and clean that is. Besides this one that somehow escaped me. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's all done. All those fans are connected. Now we can do CPU cooler block. I'm gonna get myself a paper towel. We'll get our thermal grease out. Yo, Mark, thank you for the 5 pounds. It's quite relaxing messing with computers, isn't it? I love it, dude. Go online, a little bit of gambling, call it a day. Still using a Z97X SLI Gaming 3 motherboard with 24 gigs of DDR3. Wow. There you go. Cable managing drives you mad? It's tough, dude. It's a lot of work. The new PC's a beast. I saw your message. I just haven't had a chance to respond to it yet, so I didn't open it. Plan to build a DDR5 monster. My friends keep giving out to me saying I don't need that much power as it's overkill. Just, it's not overkill, just consider it future-proofing. That's how you word it. You had the Core V31 case for the past 11 years and the original fans are still going strong. Hey, there you go. Yo, Husk with another 5.99 pounds. Appreciate that. Are those euros? Oh, that one's euros, the other one was pounds. Here's a small tip, even though it's not much. I love your streams, mate. Hey, dude, any tip is amazing. I appreciate that so much. Hesitant to use OEM cable extensions, not mods. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I use cable mod stuff just because they're really good quality. But yeah, you kind of have to be careful with making sure you don't use stuff that's too cheap. And I prefer not to use cable extensions at all if I can avoid it. All right, there we go. That baby's covered. Get the excess off. Okay. Spatula's clean. Get that guy back on there. All right, how our fingers look? Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's the only bit I got on my fingers. It's like an A+ for me. I swear I always come out of that with a bunch of stuff on my fingers. Michael Stone with another $4.99. Bro, you guys are nuts. Appreciate that. Anyone else around with the Commodore Amigas? I am not old enough for that. Most frustrating part of my whole build was putting the cable combs on. Dude, I hate cable combs so much. They're such a pain. All right, let's get this sticker off. Just like that. One. There we go. Doesn't it look nice, Barbie? This thing is sweet. This is a nice build for sure. Why do I never see your Peely video? I haven't done one in a long time. I haven't done a Peel video in forever. They weren't doing super well. Like you were probably the #1 consumer of those videos, I'm not gonna lie. I should probably bring them back one of these days and do another one though. All right, pull that down. Get our pump system there. Come on. Probably help if I lined it up correctly. Okay, got that. And this guy is gonna go right on there, just like so. Plug her in. Oh, don't worry, it's just magnetic. Okay. And then we can pull that guy tight. Just make sure that it is there. Just pulling it tight from the bottom where I had a little extra length there. And this guy, I just want to stick in this bundle as well. Just like that. Then I kind of want to use one zip tie to pull this stuff together real quick. One zip tie in the whole build, I think that's acceptable. I think that's acceptable. I mean, we could probably use more and like make the cable management look even nicer, but honestly, I think it looks pretty good. I think serviceability takes precedent over the cable management, going from a B to an A+, you know? Like, what do we think of that? That's not bad at all, you guys. That's not bad at all. I could throw another like cable tie over here just to kind of tighten that part up. With all these little cables through here. There we go. Nice and clean. What do we think of that? It's not bad at all, huh? Hold that top fan slot with honor. I appreciate that. Pristine management right there. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Hold on, let me catch up. No, Mark, sorry, I'm not even sure what that game is or even. You just told us you don't make that much money, so now we are helping sending some money. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, dude, I hate cable combs. They're so dumb. Amigas were ahead of their time back in the day. I was more into console game, but going to build my own modern PC. Nice. A riser cable. Oh, yeah. You doing a vertically mounted GPU? The big square cases with lots of glass look good. The white RGB look is good too. Yeah. Work of art, very organized. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Most race pretty. I read that. Case is a dream to build in though. What PC or what case did you build in, Soldier? I can't remember. The other day I was hooking up a foot switch to the back of my PC. I pushed the PC a little too far and it jolted off the desk about an inch from the ground. I had to reinstall my GPU driver. Is that normal? No, not really. I would double check and make sure your GPU is still like properly seated. Okay, GPU time. Speaking of GPUs, it is time to put our RTX 5080 Founders Edition in here. This new rumored stream PC. Yeah, we're gonna be doing just like a series of videos to upgrade it one piece at a time. Corsair is providing me with all of the new parts that they, that they make. So CPU cooler, fans, case, power supply, all that. We're gonna be reusing the like GPU and capture cards that I have today. But I'm probably going to upgrade my 12700K. It still works great, but it's getting a little old at this point. So I think we're gonna upgrade the 12700K and we'll get something else. Want too much force on that. There we go. Where am I at here? Start a limited edition clothing brand, take pre-orders for months, then vanish after launch day. I'm not gonna do that. What GPU should I get? Currently I have a 28 Ti with a 5900X. Yeah, the 5070 is a great middle point there. I agree, Born. Don't know how, but when putting thermal paste, some of it always manages to get. Dude, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It just always ends up on your fingers. I don't get it. Yeah, and the 5900X is still a solid CPU, so no problems there. 4K streams for me from now on? Well, I stream on multiple platforms, and most of them don't let you stream in 4K. So I don't know how I would do that. Look at that. RTX 5080 Founders Edition. And no plastic to pull off because Nvidia is all about the environment. Or so they like us to think. Come on. Come on. There we go. This box to stay closed. There we go. Okay. Oh, the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail of GPUs. It's my favorite. There we go. No satisfying click there, but it's in. Currently 0:25. That's very early. Or, well, for me, that'd be very late. I only stay up till like 10:30 because I get up really early. Every time I look at the bottom fans, I think that the GPU goes upside down. There's that. Here comes this guy. Okay, can pull a little bit of slack out of that back here. Okay, we don't want to pull it too tight, but that should be pretty solid. Last look at the cable management because we're done back here. All right. Rate it 1 out of 10, 1 through 10. No, don't rate it 1 out of 10. Rate it 1 through 10 on that cable management job. What do you guys think? Drink some water. No, they have not solved that. Some of that is definitely user error, and some of it is poor connections on the GPU itself. Something relaxing watching me build a PC. Nice. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 10 out of 10. 8.5. I mean, that's still a passing grade. I'll take it. 8.6. Not 8.5. My bad. Is 5060 still, or 5600 still an acceptable CPU? Yeah. GPU bare minimum requirement for 1440p ultra wide. Probably like a 5070 or 4070. 8 out of 10, I'll take it. Ooh, 8.5, done. Mine looks like a bowl of spaghetti back there, so I'll give yours a 10. Well, Carson says 10 out of 10, and it's his PC, so that's all that really matters. Mr. Rainbow says 100 out of 10. It's bringing that average up pretty good. All right, never to be seen again, hopefully. There we go. Look, now it's perfect cable management because you can't see any of it. Back panel's on. And this bad boy is done. Check that out. Hold on, let me swap to the front there. And you guys can see that. Look at that. Who's ready to see this thing turn on for the first time ever? Who's ready to see the maiden voyage? Did anyone else use the Lian Li 217? I haven't used the 217. I've used the 207. It's a beautiful PC. Thank you. Yeah, 2K gaming is the best. Like, I don't think there's much reason to go to 4K for most people. What would be the further is cables got replaced with something like cableless connections in the future? That'd be pretty cool. Can't wait to get this. You're the man. Hey, I appreciate you trusting me, Carson, because this was a fun project, man. And I mean, look how good it looks. You guys ready to see this thing turn on? Throw your favorite emoji in the chat if you're ready to see this baby power on. Let's see it. Makes your OCD so happy. Yeah, dude, I mean, mine too. You get a decent system. Do you find you chasing numbers and benchmark scores rather than play the game? Yo, Huss, thank you for another 249 euros. Appreciate that, dude. Oh, that's a smart idea, Joker. Favorite emoji? Pizza. Love it. Oh, and the suitcase. That's cool. Didn't even know that existed. Let's turn it on. All right. Quick reminder. Here's what's in it. We've got a 9800X 3D, 48 gigs of DDR5 RAM, got 3 terabytes of storage, got the RTX 5080, got this Montech King 95 Pro case, the MSI Mag X870E Tomahawk Wi-Fi, Thermalright Frozen Warframe Pro motherboard or CPU cooler. I'm falling apart over here, and then we've got a 1000 watt power supply from ASUS. First ever power on. Boom. How's that? How's that? Why is it blurry? Why is my camera blurry? Hold on, I can fix this. There. It's not blurry anymore. If I get in the frame, then it might go blurry again. I don't know why I have so much trouble with that camera. It's my fancy camera. So there's the front. This is gonna look kind of blurry because it's got plastic on it still, but it'll look nice and clear. So we've got this RGB accent around here and it kind of lights up the glass. Then we've got 9 RGB fans, all of which are matching. Those two are bigger, but they're all the exact same model of fans. Got the RGB on the RAM. This little screen here is gonna be, we'll have some data on there. And then, yeah, there's a little bit of just like white LEDs on the GPU. Pretty schmaxy. And look, green light, it posted, first try. Yeah, the AX fans are so nice. Yeah, I think you have to look at the Montech King 95 Pro price tag as a competitor versus the other cases like it in the market. So if you look at like the O11 Dynamic, or if you look at the H9 Flow, the price that this costs is basically the same, but it comes with 6 pre-installed fans. That's how I would justify, if you're already gonna buy this style of case, you might as well buy this one that has really nice fans pre-installed. 6 of them. Might as well spend an extra bucks on a computer like that and get what you want. Exactly. I mean, and in this case is $150, $160. So, like, yeah, you're looking at, to go to like a very, very budget case, 80 bucks. Like, it's not, it doesn't cost you that much extra in the grand scheme of the build. Unless you're on a really tight budget. If you're on a really tight budget, I get it. Bro, why is that? Why is it blurry again? The camera's dumb. What if I hide back here? Will it stay? The PC costs $1 million. It's a sweet build, Michael. I agree. How much does the PC cost? This one is in the like $3,500 range. The case itself is like $160. Yeah, all the RGBs. They're so nice. The other best option to get a couple is the Sky 2. Is there a big difference between the Montech XR and the Sky 2? I don't know the Sky 2 very well, but I bet you it's kind of all the same. Oh, there you go. So the Sky has the AX fans. The XR has just like some standard RGB fans that are just like not quite as cool as these, in my opinion. 27-inch 4K resolution OLED. Dang. I'm still rocking that 1440p IPS panel, but I barely game anymore, so it's fine. It's a reasonable high-end build. Anything more like with the 5090? Yeah, it's just, yeah, it gets really expensive really fast if you do anything more expensive than this. I mean, the 5080, if you get the right model, is not much more expensive than the 5070 Ti, and it's a pretty good performance boost, and definitely better for 4K and 1440p gaming. The Founders Edition that I got is $1,000, so it's almost the same price as a lot of the 5070 Ti's in the market right now. An hour and 18 minutes. You guys, we blew through that build. That was fast. The Linus ones. Alrighty, y'all. That's it. PC's done. We're gonna get software installed on it probably tomorrow. I need to take the dog back to the vet because he's having some more stomach issues. So as much as I would love to finish working on this today, I think we gotta take care of that first. And yeah, it'll be ready to ship Thursday night / Friday morning. Oh yeah, it's not the case here in the US, Levi. PC building and also the new smartphones are costing way too much for what? Dude, I am blown away every time I see the cost of smartphones. Like, my wife needs a new phone. She's had hers for like 4 years and it's fallen apart. It's like $1,000 for just like the standard Samsung Galaxy. It's crazy. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out. That is the end of the stream. If you haven't yet, make sure you like the stream, follow or subscribe to the page, and go check out some of my cool content. We've got a bunch of short form stuff on TikTok, as well as some interesting long form videos that we've put out this year on YouTube. So Go on over there, watch some content, help me make a few dollars in ad revenue, and we'll see you on the next one, all right? We'll be back, we should be back on Friday for like a little budget-friendly build. Adios, everybody. Have a good night or a good morning. You're welcome, Carson. Thank you, dude. Yeah, he needs to get fixed. Whatever's going on with his stomach. All right, y'all. We will see you on the next one. Levi, thank you so much for the $2. Appreciate you, dude. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye.